way, buddy.
All right, welcome back, guys. Barrel Aged Men here. I'm Chris.
I'm Heath.
And tonight we've got kind of shifting gears a little bit. We're going to do a little Scotch. So
Scotch and meat.
and meat, yeah.
We got meat.
Yeah. So ribs. Tell us about the ribs real quick.
On paper plates,
Okay.
which is always the high class stuff
Yep.
that we are. So yeah, the meat tonight is going to be beef ribs. Did it sous vide style, believe it or not. So. Well, actually, I did two different ways. I did sous vide for 3 days at 135.
Okay.
So,
I'm going to let you go ahead.
All right,
'Cause
so-
I've got some questions. I'm
All
not
right.
sure.
Anytime's good. Just,
All right.
raise your hand.
So what is sous vide?
All right, so sous vide is the process of basically cooking it in a bath. So you vacuum seal the meat into plastic bags, and then you cook it at a very precise temperature in a water bath. That's literally what it is.
Okay.
And because you're cooking
It's sealed, right?
Yeah. The
Okay.
water, the bag or the meat is sealed into a bag, so it cooks in its own juices and it doesn't lose any juices.
Okay.
And you cook it at a very precise temperature. So like the water bath is kept at a 1/10 of a degree difference.
Okay.
So when you say I'm going to cook my ribs at 135, you can be guaranteed that the meat itself is cooked at 135.
And how does it regulate that? Is that the temperature of the water?
That's the temperature of the water.
Okay. So,
Yep.
yeah.
There's a little device. There's multiple types of sous vide.
Is it really that accurate? I mean,
Yeah.
like
I mean, as far as I
35
know,
point,
I haven't actually tested that process, but yeah, supposedly
Okay.
it's that accurate.
Okay.
And then what I did is after 3 days, I take it out, cut it out of the bag, I douse it with some spices,
I'll let you guys look at it while we're
and then
sitting here, so.
from that point, I threw it on the smoker just to kind of crisp the outside, and this is the finished product.
Cool. It
And
smells
it's been,
great.
And it's been microwaved, so that always adds to the flavor after the fact. Since I cooked it earlier today, or I took it out and did everything earlier
It
today.
probably just made it like super tough, like shoe leather right
Yeah,
now.
right. Yeah. So
that
now
30
it's going to be
seconds
totally
in the microwave.
But that's what you're going to eat with, when you have your scotch, right?
Right.
When
Yeah,
when
yeah.
all your buddies come over, you have the leftovers.
You got to heat it up, right?
That's right.
Yeah. So cool.
Yep. So that's going to be the pairing with the. You're going to have to pronounce that.
Glenmorangie is what I've call it. I think that's correct, but it's.
Did you look that up?
I did.
Oh, all right. So
It's a
G
single
at the
malt
end, huh? Okay.
Scotch, So both of these are the same company. One is a 15-year, and the other is an 18-year. So,
What do you think the difference is going to be?
well, what I read on this one was they do.
I noticed a lot's gone out of this.
Somebody got into it the other night.
Somebody got into that the
Yeah.
other night? Gotcha, okay.
Yeah. But what I read on this one, it's aged 15 years in American oak cask. They're used, barrels.
Uh-huh.
And then they take it out and they do 3 years in Spanish Olorosa sherry casks. And
Wow.
then they blend it back together to give it the full 18 years. That's what I read. So I honestly haven't checked on this one. I just literally opened it up and it was kind of spur of the moment. So sorry guys, you'll have to check that one out
What
yourself.
is the difference between, let's say, a bourbon, which we normally do, and a scotch?
A single malt, first of all. So this is a I'm drawing a blank. It's malted barley. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Didn't know what you were going for.
Yeah. So versus a bourbon is corn, barley, rye, whatever that
Wheatgrass.
whatever they want to
sort
put
of.
in that. So, but the aging process is similar. My understanding is that Scotch is. See, I need to double check.
You're
on
fine.
that.
But you know what? I mean, what goes into this?
What?
Grass.
Grass.
There's some oats.
Yeah.
Maybe a little hay.
Right.
And then you get this beautiful, thing out of all those vegan, vegetarian things.
You lost me at vegan.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well, so this is what you're doing. You're just eating the byproduct of all of those vegan, healthy,
Gotcha.
homegrown, farm-grown, farm-to-table things. Yeah.
All right. Cool.
So we're going to partake of both, right?
yeah, exactly. I'm going to start
right.
with the 15-year here, and I've never had it. Just opened it, so.
See, to me, it's so nice to have such a difference in some of these. I mean, like from a bourbon, you get for me, you get a lot of the same flavors, a lot of the same smells when you're with a bourbon. I know some people get a lot of I can really get the caramel or the cherry, or no, this one's got an oaky flavor. A lot of them to me have a very similar smell.
Yeah.
And then when you take a scotch, and the difference between like a scotch and a bourbon or even a rye they're different enough that to me shows, has the real difference.
And once again, we're not experts, but I mean, we're just getting started in this. This is a new journey for us. So, but I have had a couple of single malts. I've had some American single malt stuff, and it's good.
But and that's the thing. It's like, so for the longest time, I can remember when I first kind of started my bourbon journey, and somebody handed me a Scotch. It's our mutual buddy, and I took it and I didn't know what I was drinking.
Was it peated?
It was peated.
Okay, this is unpeated, by the way.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But even still, I've had since then. I've kind of expanded my palate slightly, and I'm beginning to find the flavors within the peated that have actually started to grow on me a little bit.
Okay, I've never had a peated Scotch, so I know I've got one up here. I just we haven't opened it yet.
Yeah, you've got one right there.
And I think that's the one you probably had.
That's the one I had.
Yeah.
So it's been a while since I've had it, so I look forward to trying that again on one of the tastings. So, all right. So after taking a couple sips,
that's good.
It's time to rip this meat apart a little bit.
Yeah,
I don't want to hear your take on how bad I did. A little buttery.
That's good.
Bad. All right.
Now, I know you've had it before. This is my first taste on this. That's good. Those are beef ribs.
Beef ribs, so a little different than your normal barbecue.
Yeah, they're good though.
All right.
So what's the difference now, right? Oh, I get that little butterscotch caramel on the nose. Now it brings it out a little more.
It's funny because unlike the bourbon for me, now granted those were fajitas. This didn't quite soften this at all. It actually, for me, gave it almost a harsher finish.
Really? Okay. What's the proof on this? This is it's an 86.
Yeah, after eating, this has a much more harsh aftertaste to me.
Okay. Matured in American oak bourbon cask. That's what I was confused on. Some of them, I think most scotches are in used bourbon casks. They send them from here to there. That's my understanding.
Okay.
So, but anyway, it's a real good sipper. That bottle right there.
I look forward to trying that with a cigar.
Price. It was $85. I paid for that one, so it's a good sip. I like it though.
Yeah, I honestly can say that I liked it better before having the meat with it, but
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Once I had the meat, it kind of changed the flavor a little bit, and I liked it better before the meat. All right, so next one is the 18, which obviously we've partaken of in the past.
Let's see what we got. Now this bottle's been open, so now keep in mind this is a brand new bottle. It's neck pour. It hasn't set out but about 10 minutes, so this should be a little sweeter,
Right.
a little more complex. Yeah,
so after cleansing, that has a very smooth, again, kind of, it's got a little more caramely than what that one did.
It's got a little more of the, maybe that's the sherry cask finish, I guess, the Olorosa or whatever. I don't know what Olorosa is, but it's almost got a little, just reminiscent of a bourbon, so I don't get that same single malt with this one.
But, if I'm taking this the other direction, both of these have so far enhanced the flavor of the meat.
Oh, yeah.
It gives it almost a buttery flavor on the finish.
That's really good.
Yeah.
I like that. Now, Grant, this is more, I've had a couple of American single malts, samples of those, and that kind of reminds me of that. That's more of a complicated flavor there. I don't know what I'm picking up on that, but it's good. So.
Yeah, so after that, and then taking another sip, it softens the caramel flavor for me and kind of increased a little bit more of the oakiness.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say oakiness. So yeah, it definitely changes the flavor of the Scotch for sure. In my mind. Are you picking up any of the changes at all, or Is it all just me? You gotta give me something here, man. Take another bite.
I mean, yeah, it's going back and forth, but you know, we're cleansing our palate to the meat and everything. It's different, but I mean, that's the way, like you said, a lot of people, you know, enjoy something like that is with a little food. So, but yeah, it's good stuff, guys. That bottle right there, how much was that one?
I thought you said 160.
130.
130.
Yep. So that one's on the little higher side, but pretty good stuff there. You guys check it out. Glenmorangie.
I'm gonna definitely say out of the
Single
two,
malt.
I like this one.
Yep.
I like it better. I mean, that one's still good, but this one for me, especially with food and the way I would normally consume,
Yep.
that one just kind of blends better and actually brings out the flavor of the meat a little better in my mind.
They're both the same proof, so that's why it kind of felt like that. So,
Yeah.
all right, guys, enjoy, and thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time.
Cheers.
See ya.